You've heard what they had to say in the past week's debates. Now we're sitting down with Stamford's candidates for mayor to discuss their goals and visions for Stamford.
There's some simple things that in fact some of my opponents have been copying from my various debates. I'm going to eliminate all those reserved spaces downstairs for public officials. There've got to be almost 24 of them, and make those available to the public, because I think the people of the city come first, not the public officials. I've talked about, there's a mayor's car. I'm also going to have a mayor's bike. And I'm going to use that bicycle to go to the downtown meetings or South End or West Side or East Side, because I think that's going to be more effective about telling the transportation planners that we need to make our streets more bicycle and pedestrian friendly. I'm going to start working on traffic flow by working on timing of the lights, but we're also going to step up the traffic enforcement in terms of the speeding and aggressive drivers to make our streets safer. So those are some of the immediate things, but the bigger issues are that we need to make our City Hall more effective and more efficient. My first priority is to make the city more effective. Can we deliver better services, more citizen-friendly services from our government? And that is not just achieved by going line by line, but that's in terms of thinking about reinventing the way you think about budgeting and the way you think about responsibility. For years, the politicians keep saying, let's go line by line and look for what to cut. And as we do that, what happens is all the city managers realize any savings they generate is immediately cut from their budget. And so after a while, nobody's really trying to cut the budget. We can change the way we move forward. We have to change the incentives and the motivations about how people think about their budgets and the effectiveness. I've shown that I can do that in my own budget 8 years in a row. I've shown that we can do that with the Board of Education, and we're only just started. I believe that that type of savings is available throughout the city budget, but somebody's got to have a leadership direction to move us in a new direction going forward. Well, there's 2 or 3 interrelated issues here. One has to do with gun violence in America, period, and how Stamford is, to some degree, a victim of illegal guns that come in from the South. I should tell you, and I know this isn't your direct question, but under my leadership, we are going to join organizations that are going to try to control illegal guns. And that's a priority for me, and make certain that people that have mental health issues do not have access to guns. The schools have done an audit. They've come back and they've already asked for approximately $800,000 to improve video cameras and locks, egress, and entrance at a number of schools, and we've already approved that. They are working on some additional matters, which would include making those the entrance doors bullet resistant, and that's going to come back, and I don't know when that's coming back. I wish it had gone faster. This is one of the problems with government, is nothing ever goes as fast as you want, because I wanted all of this done this last summer, but they're working on this phase 2, and I expect it to be another $1.2 million, and I'm absolutely in favor of it. We must protect our children. And this is a small investment, and on the Financial Policy Committee, I found the money even before this tragedy occurred to help ensure that we can get that protection for our schools. And we're going to make it happen. Well, it's unfortunate that we have wasted so much energy and so much time spinning our wheels, going nowhere, with no resolution in sight. The BLT was required to continue operating a boatyard. There hasn't been a boatyard operating for upwards of 3 years now. Bridgewater has said they want to move to Stamford, and they've said where they want to move, but it's not clear that they're going to be able to move there. The administration put forward a proposal saying, let's use some city park land and some other city land to find a new spot for the boatyard on McGee Avenue. And as you well know, I came out early in this process and said that I didn't feel that that particular property was a good substitute for the original requirement, the original deal, the original promise that we would keep a fully functioning boatyard on the 14-acre site. And furthermore, I was upset that we were going in the opposite direction of the master plan and zoning, and going in the opposite direction of the parkland. And I had voted to make that area a park. And there were a huge number of restrictions to keep that in more of a passive park rather than an industrial boatyard. So I said no, and eventually, after a long period of time, the proposal was withdrawn by BLT, and so I was happy to see that. Now we're sitting in some uncertainty, and what I'm going to say to you is that I have the experience, having worked with the elected boards, to know what's possible and what's not. And so I am going to negotiate with BLT, Bridgewater, and other parties to make things happen. I want Bridgewater to come to this city very much. I think it's a great opportunity for the city. I think it's a great opportunity for Bridgewater. I think this is the place that makes the most sense for them to be for a lot of different reasons. But we're going to have to work out the details, and the McGee Avenue Boatyard is not on the table, but we can find some other thing that will satisfy the needs of the city to uphold its harbor planning, its coastline planning, its master planning, and its zoning, and at the same time provide opportunities for or provide the growth and energy that Bridgewater would help bring the city. And that's what I'm going to do. Well, first of all, I've been working for 30 years to make this city a better place to live, a better place to work, and a better place to raise a family. And I'm proud of the contributions that I've made. The city of Stamford is the envy of every major city in Connecticut. And whether it was writing laws or initiating charter revision, whether it was cutting budgets or working to get tax abatements for seniors and veterans, a long record of support for our schools, for public safety, and for our parks. I've gotten things done in Stamford, and that's what counts. You've got to have a track record of proving that you can work with people and get things done and not just make promises. And that's what I've done. Now, we are a great city, and I think we have a great future. But we've got to concentrate, and listen, by a great city and great future, you know, where do I want us to go? I want to go to a city that's safe. It's a safe for everyone. That the seniors can live here in town and not feel that they're threatened and forced to move out because it's unaffordable. But at the same time, it provides an energy to attract our young people to stay and live in Stamford. I want a school system that is the envy of the state, and for that matter, the envy of the nation, and every child has the support that they need to achieve their avenue, to achieve what they want for success. And most importantly, for the young people starting out or the people raising families, and for those who are just before they decide to retire, this needs to be a city where there are jobs that are attractive jobs for the people in the city of Stamford. And when you need to change careers because the world keeps changing, there's going to be help to help people change and move to new careers as the world evolves. All those things have to be done. So what do we have to do? Well, City Hall has to be more effective and more efficient, to keep taxes down, but to deliver the quality of life that the people want here. We need a mayor who can make City Hall more transparent and more accountable. Too much cronyism, too many ethics charges, too much fraud. I'm tired of reading about all that stuff, and we've got to put that aside and focus on the important issues that need to get done rather than ignoring a lot of things while we are tangled up in all these charges. We need a mayor who has proven that they are honest, that they put the people of the city first, not the big developers, not the big political interests, and are going to listen to the people and help them what they need. Has proven with their record that they can get things done. And that's who I believe I am.